What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Game Club, your monthly video game book club. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friends and co-hosts. Say hello to the people, Connor, Elliott.
Hello, how are you all doing today again?
And say hello to the people, Phil Shoemaker.
Yeah, my friends are my power.
Oh, he's waiting. You know, he was
waiting.
What was he thinking about when he
I think he was trying to get
introduced
the key out here because he's got his little Kingdom Hearts key. You know, it's a very big day for Phil. It's a very big day for him.
His favorite game of all time is being reviewed.
It is Kingdom Hearts 2, ladies and gentlemen. We've been playing it. This is your review for it. We're going to rank it amongst the other games that we've played in this series. This is, of course, as I said, your monthly video game book club, where during the course of a month, me and these other two gentlemen on the panel play a game in the background, and then we come to you at the beginning of each new month and review it and rank it for your viewing pleasure. This month is indeed Kingdom Hearts 2, the Final Mix version. We had played Kingdom Hearts 1, Final Mix. We've played Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories just last month, and so we dived right into Kingdom Hearts 2, which just so happens to be Phil Shoemaker's favorite video game of all time.
All time, baby.
All time, baby.
Mr.
And I'll
Worldwide.
tell you what, gentlemen, this one, more than any other episode of this show, I am more interested to hear what you two gentlemen have to say more than me. Like, I really want to hear what you guys say before I even, like, touch a personal opinion. Connor got some of my early impressions of the game, but definitely as soon as I hit, like, the halfway mark on, I kind of stopped talking to him about how I was feeling about the game. And then, Phil, I've talked to you about some, like, elements of the game, but not my overall opinion about the game.
Yeah. And how little of the extra parts you actually did.
We'll get into that. And so some quick. Well, part of that was because I had to get through the game because I'm a busy man. I don't have time to be playing around.
Yeah.
You know.
No, understandable. It's a big
Kingdom
game.
Hearts 2 had an original launch date of December 22nd, 2005 in Japan. It launched on the PlayStation 2 and has a Metacritic rating of 87. Let that be known. Phil, I have a Metacritic of 85 for the initial Kingdom Hearts.
I swear there was something where like they rated it a lot lower or something like that.
I thought so too.
You know what? It wasn't Metacritic that rated it low. It was IGN.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
It was IGN.
And then, so 87 for Kingdom Hearts 2, 85 for Kingdom Hearts 1. Chain of Memories, the original version had a 76. The remake is the one that we played. That one had a 68. Kingdom Hearts 2.
Remake.
Kingdom Hearts 2 sold 4.75 million copies on the PlayStation 2. It is the 11th highest selling game on PlayStation 2. And of course, developed by Square Enix, published by Square Enix and Disney Interactive Studios, creative director Tetsuya Nomura. And then just some quick notes on reception of the game. Pulling from the Wikipedia page, like its predecessors, the gameplay received mixed reviews. The refined combat system was praised, with the dry forms, limit breaks, and combos being said to add depth, variety, and excitement. Andrew Rayner of Game Informer called the combo potential divine, claiming that it surpassed God of War's intensity. The QuickTime events were a generally welcomed addition, with albages of Eurogamer regarding their quality and impact to be on par with the knife fight scene in Resident Evil 4. The RPG elements were described as light, with IGN's Jeff Haynes calling them a causality of the increased emphasis on combat. Responses to the narrative were varied, with some reviewers cautioning that the plot would be confusing to those who had not played the previous games. Proponents of the story, including GameZone's Bedigian, declaring that the game, quote, should be the benchmark of RPG storytelling.
Whoa.
Diverse.
That's a take.
Whoa.
That's a take.
That is a take, and that's coming from like this game's biggest like lover, biggest like pushing of it. The narrative is the weakest fucking part of this game. Like it's insane. Like it's totally
Phil,
it's completely and utterly nonsensical.
And Phil, of course, this being your favorite game of all time, I want to transition right into that, and I want to hear your review of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Of course. Well, you know, of course, we got to get the nostalgia and like the gushing and all that stuff out of the way first. Kingdom Hearts 2, as we said many times, is my favorite game of all time. And it harkens back to me in my room. I was probably like 13 when I first got access to this game, which was years after it was released, of course, because we were in like the PS3, Xbox 360 generation whenever I was playing Kingdom Hearts 2 on a PS2. Just goes to show how strong the PS2 is. But anyway, I digress. This game just is so special to me because it just the moments that it has, this like the highs, like of parts of the story that were epic for the sake of being epic, and like we're just super cool. Like we got dual wield keyblades here. You got Roxas, and who knows who the fuck Roxas is if you haven't played pretty much the game that came after this one, because I want to say if like Chain of Memories, Rechain of Memories, of course, was a pack-in title with Kingdom Hearts 2 for a lot of people, and if you hadn't played the GBA game, I'm pretty sure I don't even know if Roxas is in the GBA game, like because you just had that final scene at the end.
I mean,
anyway,
he's only in that last shot of the credits of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
Rechain of Memories
for both stories. Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Exactly. He's just some dude who's in Twilight Town, who's a place that you explored towards the end game of Chain of Memories. But all of that aside, I fucking adore the combat of this game. It is, for me, it is like the most satisfying like combat of like this type of game that I've ever experienced. I fucking adore everything about it. The only sticking point for me combat wise is that like small, very, very small nitpick of you have to use a finisher on the final to finish a boss. You can't just beat it by running its health out, because it'll stay at that tiny little hair of health until you hit that finisher. And some of the combos in this game, as that I think it was IGN said, it was like I forget what they said. It was something about it being really exciting.
Divine is the word they use.
Divine. And right. Divine, they can go fucking long, some of these combos. They can go on for quite a long time. Whether you start on the ground, hit somebody up in the air, and then do all of that good hits, because there's so many abilities that increase your combo potential, whether it's a new finisher, whether it's in addition to your combo via combo plus, whether it's like a new... anyway, I'm getting too deep in the Duffy. The parts that like I don't like about this game now, as a grown man, not a child in his bedroom. Yeah, this story is fucking nonsense. It's insane. And as a now modernized Kingdom Hearts fan and not a nostalgia-driven child, I fully acknowledge that the story of these games is fucking crazy. Things just happen for the sake of them happening. Disney characters are there and they're fucking weird. A lot of the kind of the animations just from like that PS2 era, where you just have like the mouth flapping. It's just weird. It kind of sticks out. I much prefer the when we're more zoomed in on a character and you can see more of that fluid motion. And I think that's where kind of this game is a little more pretty, and you have a lot more of these cool designs of these characters. And that even goes for some of the Disney characters. Like some of these Disney characters weren't in like 3D like spaces. I want to say damn near all of them, just for whatever reason off the top of my head. I don't have a model for like a 3D for another character. The transition from these like 2D animations to the like 3Ds, it's pretty fucking good. The biggest part where I talk about like the standstill mouth flapping models, the one that sticks out the most is one that Tavin has talked about ad nauseum, where they talk about the door to darkness, and the characters turn around and you see Mickey with the hood on, and for whatever reason his still model has his mouth slightly open, and it's fucking weird. And it's very goofy.
Goofy.
Yuck. Speaking of, yeah, he fucking dies in this game. Spoilers.
Dude, that was such a moment where it's like, I don't think Goofy's dead, and I like
he's
even knowing
dead,
it,
Connor.
Just the way it's done is like,
Someone,
he's not dead, dude.
Who's gonna tell Max, dude? Who's gonna tell Max?
We need to have him in the 4th Kingdom Hearts game.
Do we? I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been in the series yet. But I got to talk about these drive forms, man, because as a kid coming from Kingdom Hearts 1, when in that opening area with Roxas, which we'll get into, too fucking long, that prologue. It's insane how long it is. It's barely a tutorial. It's very it's insanely long-winded is the gist. But when we get towards the end and he pulls out the Oathkeeper and the Oblivion Keyblade in that final Axel fight, holy shit! Like, it was insane. I want to say I don't want to get gross with it. I'll talk about it off camera. I was gonna say something very crass. But it's insane how fucking cool that moment was. And I remember being so excited to play this game because I originally borrowed it from one of my brother's older friends, and he only borrowed it and then eventually just gave it to me because I played it for so fucking long. And like, I woke up super early, like 4 a.m. before school, and got through that whole opening and did all that stuff before, and I was just, God, I was so hyped. And that it was one of those things where like I get to the point where eventually I would get to on weekends I would play through the entire game in one sitting. Like, that's how addicted to this game I was. I like, with barely any bathroom breaks, barely any food breaks. That's where my unhealthy life as the gamer started. So in theory, I should hate Kingdom Hearts for doing this to me and ruining my life. But if anything, it just made me really fond of the like action RPG genre and just how fun and frenetic these fights can be, and how cool how I think the magic is done so much better in this game from the first game. Like, I like aspects of the first game, like its magic system, and how like the more MP points you have, the stronger your magic is, right? Those little like bars, those blue bars. Now it's just one long bar, and it's just super interesting. All the different things they changed for this game that I think are for the better. Me and Tavin were talking a little bit, and he will get into it when he talks about how he thinks that some of the things this game does worse than one, which is insane to me. I think there's, like, you can count on one hand the amount of things this game does worse than one, I think.
I'd probably agree with that.
But I adore this game with my whole heart. All of its fucking terrible story and all. The like super bosses you can fight in this 2.5 version, because as a kid on my PS2 I didn't have the remix version with the final mix or whatever, where you add some of the super bosses. The only super boss that I had access to was Sephiroth on that original PS2 version, which it's a very fun fight, and I think it's better than the fight in the first game, just because of how much more open this game's combat is, right? You're not as constricted to the ground, how much more you stay in the air. And some people, they kind of overcorrect in 3, where they're like, oh, we're going to lean fully into the floaty. And it's actually before 3. It's Birth by Sleep where we really get floaty. And that's where people start to complain with how floaty the combat is. But I think we're like perfectly finely tuned with Kingdom Hearts 2. This game, for me, quality-wise, has yet to be surpassed in terms of like raw gameplay from Kingdom Hearts. Like, it just has yet to be surpassed in
within the series
that way for me. Within the series.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Within the series. Tavin was about to go off.
I was about to be like, man, I got like 6 dozen games.
No. I just mean within the series. I think Kingdom Hearts has yet to top itself from Kingdom Hearts 2. It's just such a special game to me. And when we get to ranking, I think I'm gonna be. I've been telling Tavin I'm gonna be as objective as I can be with this game. Warts and all, with terrible story, fun vistas. How fucking cool is the Tron level? Like, how we got fucking Tron in Kingdom Hearts? Like, that's awesome. Super cool.
How cool is how cool is the level, or just how cool that Tron is here?
Both.
It's extremely cool that Tron is here.
You don't like Tron? You don't like Space Pyramids?
That might be the worst level in the game.
No way. But Atlantica? Come on. The musical?
Oh, I guess. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but like, that's just like a
Winnie the Pooh
QTE thing. I like Winnie the Pooh.
I like all the levels, the lowest on the list being Atlantica, of course. But no, how fucking jarring is it? We'll get into the worlds later. The gist of my review is like, I fucking adore this game, warts and all. There it is.
Connor, where are you at with Kingdom Hearts 2? You have played this game before, but it's been a minute.
Relatively, I played it like back in 2015 or 2016 again. But my initial experience was back during my childhood as well. Not to the same degree that Phil just explained. But I enjoyed it then, and I still enjoy it now. my opinions, of course, are different than they would have been when I was a kid, but I don't have that same exact, the same level of illusion remembering it from my childhood. If anything, I played this game without being really nostalgic at all. But it didn't need it because it was still good on its own merit. First of all, as Phil was saying, the combat's pretty great. I do enjoy this is probably the best thing about the game. Yeah, it's the best thing about the game. I very much enjoy the drives that allow you to unlock a greater move list by using them more. I found that to be an interesting way rather than use it to do traditional skill tree or to do the other thing that the game does, which is give you things as you level up through the game. It adds an extra level of depth that in combination with the aerial combos that you can do, the ground combos, and the mixture of those that you could, the mixture of them, launching enemies into air and transitioning from the ground to air. I don't think there was ever any combo routes that went from the air to the ground, but I might just not have used them. The magic it felt like I had more control over the magic. Maybe that's largely due to the fact that, compared to the first one, that is, specifically due to the thunder spell, which would pretty easily lock onto any enemy that I wanted to hit, which was nice because the lock-on was functional in this game. Whereas I remember my time with the first Kingdom Hearts constantly battling, locking onto the right enemy. In this one, aside from a very select few instances, I never had that issue. I remember we recently had reviewed Metal Gear Solid 4. I'm doing a lot of comparisons right now, but that's just where I'm trying to, frame my review at this moment. Where Metal Gear Solid 4 has a lot of culmination of moments in that game in a pretty lackluster story that help the fans. It's really nice to have the Metal Gear fights or the cool badass fight between Solid Snake and
the parts are better than the sum.
Yes, exactly. This is a game where the parts where they do come in, specifically the end.
Extremely high highs.
Yes, extremely high highs. And the Organization 13 bosses, who I absolutely love, are super effective. And those moments when they do bring in, the hype moments that a lot of the lackluster parts of the narrative don't really get the chance to, display for the player because the plot is, as it was already said, pretty nonsensical. Once again, another comparison to Metal Gear Solid 4, which is why I brought this up in this first place, was because my eyes would glaze over at random moments. Not because it's just throwing so much information at me that doesn't mean anything, but because the information is just the darkness, the darkness, the darkness, the darkness, and it's just over and over again.
So sorry to interrupt, but I don't want to throw you off your flow, but it just harkens back to when me and Tavin played this on Hype, our old streams, and we would be watching a cutscene, and I would just look over to Tavin, and he's just slumped.
The life just sucked out of him.
It was just
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. That's funny though.
He'll do the thing where when he's tired of what me and Connor are geeking out about or something, and he'll just go.
Yeah, just like
he's lets his head sag over while he's still looking at the screen, of course, but he's just like
that. I know what you mean.
Just waiting for it to be over.
Little dip. Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was subtle with my look on when I had that feeling, but I guess not. But yeah, I guess going back to the combat real quickly, the only issue I have with it is that a lot of the enemies, the moment-to-moment gameplay is pretty easy. Now, I played on normal, which I've heard from some people it's better to play on hard, yeah. But I try to have a consistency when we're playing these kinds of games.
For the record, I also played on standard.
Okay, you did as well. And so maybe it was different on hard. I don't think it would have been, but the enemy to enemy encounters were incredibly simple and easy. The heartless bosses were incredibly easy and simple, but the game really sings in those simple and clean. Yes. Well, no, yeah, they were simple and clean.
Sanctuary, yeah.
Yes. But the Organization 13 bosses I love. I did the ones that are waiting out in the world, the Rechain of Memories bosses that you can play out in the world.
The Absent Silhouettes.
Absent Silhouettes. Those always had a unique mechanic to them, whether it's Marluxia's insta-kill mechanic if you get hit a certain amount of times, but also giving you the ability
It's based on your level, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's based on your level.
Cool.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, the level is the amount of hits you can take, yeah.
Yes. That was super fun to engage with. It's
That's
sad.
badass.
For the record, those were not in the original PS2 version either.
No, they were definitely not. But the fight against Vexen was nice. Yeah, Vexen was cool. Fighting the clone, trying to make sure he doesn't scan your data to try and create an extra clone of them. They always, in these special little boss fights, added an extra element that they didn't really do in any of the mainline bosses, except for the card boss, the card Organization 13 boss, who I hate. I don't think that really, that fight really works all that much. But
I like his, you're talking about the final boss fight?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's your passion project, your passion game, I should say. The levels are nice. The final level's particularly the most memorable, and I really love Hollow Bastion, Radiant Garden. I think that's better than Traverse Town as far as the hub area in this game. But I feel like one thing that Kingdom Hearts does really, really well is, especially this also applies to the old ones, even Rechain of Memories, is that when it ends, the ending's always it hits really, really hard. A lot of that's due to the music in the first and this game, but it always fills me with this sense of, I guess you could call it melancholy or longing, of me wanting to see more. Now, unfortunately, in the case of Kingdom Hearts, I don't feel that way about the narrative and its characters when I'm playing the game, so it's not exactly hitting the stride it needs to. But I think very, very few games make me feel the way that Kingdom Hearts feels, and it's distinctly separate from any kind of nostalgic feeling. It's just something about how I guess how Nomura does his thing. It just makes it work, because this happens a lot in Final Fantasy games as well. Yeah. Like I said, that happens a lot in Final Fantasy games. And
for the record, on this most recent playthrough, I did cry at the end.
You did, it's an emotional ending, especially the hard hitting final shot.
No, why? What are we talking about? What are we doing?
No.
I'd say it was probably like 95% nostalgia.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Tavin,
it just brought me back.
Get a syringe, Tavin. Fill that syringe with soul and inject it into you, because that's what you need. That's what this is. It's the soul that comes with a child's innocence playing it as an adult. Shut up.
You know what it was?
My review's going to be interesting based off of that.
You know what it was, Tavin and Connor? You know what the bit that actually like made the tears well up and cry?
What?
It was towards the end when Riku and Sora they swim back to shore.
Yeah.
And he goes, "We're back."
Oh,
that was
nice. She goes, "You're home."
Yeah, that was nice.
And then we see the Roxas and Naminé as well. And I was like, oh, and also, like you're mentioning the Donald Goofy coming in and hugging you. It's like, it fills me with warm and fuzzies, man. I love it.
The game is successfully doing what it's trying to do in that moment. And I just wish the narrative was more like that in more places than when I'm closing out the game or select few moments. Like, for example, the big battle that takes place at Hall of Bastion. Really cool that fight. Yeah, leading up to the Heartless fight. Tavin has in the past criticized the inclusion of the Final Fantasy characters in this franchise. They work better than the overall lackluster stories of the Disney characters, which just come and go and have no impact whatsoever. I feel nothing at all. And I'm not saying the Final Fantasy characters are that good. I'm just saying they're better in comparison to what the bulk of the game tries to put in front of you.
This game,
Did we play the same game? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This game, in my opinion, has the best balance of Final Fantasy and Disney.
And I'm going to make a controversial point, right? They need to focus less on Disney. I've said this before. I'm only emboldened in my claim now.
3.
Well, 3 does some opposite problems that are.
It does exactly the opposite. There are no Final Fantasy characters in 3.
Yeah. So fuck. I have problems.
This is gonna be one of them times where you guys are gonna make me seem more negative than I am.
Don't worry. I mean, I'm not trying to say these Final Fantasy elements are super well included. They're not. It's just when the core of your game is Disney characters and you kind of just ride on the fact that you're putting Disney characters in a video game, I really do feel it in this game. Tied to the fact that the levels, like I said, they're good, but they're not particularly amazing. So, I feel like the best moments are when they're going more original, whether it's the Twilight Towns or the Hollow Bastions or the Traverse Towns or the fucking whatever the final level happens to be, the world that never was. Yeah. When it goes into those more original ideas, the framework of the Kingdom Hearts franchise becomes better. And the best bosses, the best moments are those, like I said, Organization 13 boss fights, which another issue I have with the Organization 13 members isn't really the members themselves, it's how the game treats them. Because these people are supposed to be more of a sympathetic villain. Every single time they came across that way, rather than being like, I'm evil and cackling my hands, they just want hearts. They want to be full people. They want to become, complete. And every single time they kill these people, not just like, oh, they get knocked out, like some of the Disney villains do, like the evil Maleficent.
They fade away.
Yeah, exactly. They completely get eradicated.
They disintegrate, and
the heroes are just like, woohoo, I just killed somebody. They're super happy. It's like, it brings up the same memory I had.
You kill so many in the last level.
You do kill so many. And
Dude,
Sora's just like,
the beginning of the game, Sora literally brags that he killed Maleficent to Pete.
She's toast to Pete.
She's toast. But that's Maleficent. She's like, generic.
I mean, she comes back, but to him, I murdered that lady, and I'm gonna fucking wave my dick around about it, bro.
I was gonna say, he's like, oh, just wait until Maleficent gets here. It's like, and then they like Donald, Goofy, and Sora just literally like
fucking laugh.
Yeah.
They killed her.
She's toast. We killed her.
To bring in Donald and Goofy, one of my big issues with the first game is they were supposed to be friends. They didn't feel like friends because they completely abandoned him the first chance they got. I do like the dynamic between him and Goofy and Donald, but it seems like the trade-off is you have to have some aspect of Sora and the gang's character be psychotic, and one of it is just being so callous towards these people that aren't trying to do anything just objectively evil. Even if it has bad consequences, they just feel nothing, which is, I do say, is a criticism because the game doesn't even seem to realize this despite seemingly doing just that. It just seems like to just write them off completely as characters and they're just bosses to beat.
Connor, I don't want to cut you off, but we're getting real in the nitty-gritty, and can I get in here before we continue that?
Connor, you brought up the dynamic. You know what's funny is Goofy is the voice of reason.
He is. Hey, good. His name's Goofy. And Donald's always been kind of an asshole. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fucking heal me, Donald. Go ahead, Tavin.
Yeah. So this is easily the best in the series up to this moment. The problem is that that's not a high bar. And I think this game is fine. I think it's fun. In the most basic sense of the word fun. But overall, this playthrough had me feeling pretty numb for the majority of the journey. I think the writing is probably the biggest problem with that. There are too many cutscenes of just nonsense nothing. There's just too many cutscenes, period. There's too much talking in this game. More so than 3 out of the 4 Metal Gear Solids that we've played. There's too much talking. Like
there's a cutscene that's straight up 30 seconds of a guy walking down a spiral ramp.
Yeah. What is going on? What are we doing? And generally, like, I think specifically the first half of this game is kind of boring. And it's not until the Battle of the Thousand Heartless on that the game starts getting interesting to me. A lot of the
halfway point.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the and Phil, you're right. That intro is fucking ass. That whole Roxas, that 3 hours of Roxas in the beginning is probably the worst 3-hour section of any game we've played so far. Like, it is.
Roxas is still my favorite
awful.
Kingdom Hearts character, though.
I like him.
I hope one day I'll find out why. And so
if they
to
remake
me,
358 over 2 days, you will.
To me, this game confirmed what I kind of teased in our Kingdom Hearts 1 review, in that Kingdom Hearts is, always has been, and probably always will be an incomplete concept. I don't think they ever take advantage of the mashup between Disney and Final Fantasy in any way. Connor, you're complaining about the Disney worlds. Final Fantasy is the problem here. Final Fantasy is the most vapid, nothing, barely a reference to its games ever. These characters don't have character to them. They are just stand-in little cardboard cutouts of what they are in their own games. And in that, I think they also mischaracterize a lot of the characters from those games as well. And then
Auron from Final Fantasy X using Titus's lines or Titus's lines.
Sure, I don't know what you're talking about.
This is my story.
And then like the Disney worlds in this one feel very going through the motions for a lot of them. Not 100% of the time, but a good majority. Just Lion King, I was like, I feel nothing, man. Like, and I should, because this is a very emotional movie that I love, and in here, it's just, it feels, no pun intended, heartless. Like, and
the funny Tokyo Drift Lion.
And I kind of feel that way about a lot of this game. This game is missing the heart. It's missing the charm. It's missing just kind of the wonder that was in the first game. And then it's missing any of the cool conceptual storytelling that was in Chain of Memories. So, like, to me, narratively, this is easily the worst. Because it's just a lot of blabbing about the darkness and what that means, and what it means changes every 15 fucking minutes, and it just drives me crazy. I want to say that the ending of this game is hype as hell and really dope, and in moments it is, but there's too much of fucking Ansem holding onto this weird machine shooting into a moon that we're not explaining, and just fucking monologuing for fucking ever about nothing. And I'm sitting here like, just end. Let me get to the boss fight. Like,
Ansem Wise.
It's driving me fucking crazy that these characters won't shut the fuck up and let me play the game, which is actually the fun part, is playing the game. Now, this is a style of game that I'm just not generally a fan of, and it's that flashy style over substance type of action RPG, where I think a lot of the combat here is just jingling keys in front of the player's face. We're gonna throw a lot of like effects at the screen. You know, sound effects are gonna be going off, and there's gonna be just a lot of movement that ends with a big splash to make you feel powerful. You know, you guys talk about the combo system. I don't really think it's that deep. I think it's just add more moves onto it so Sora does more tricky animations. But generally, I don't think those combos really have that much depth to it, especially when, Phil, you said it, in boss fights, the most important move is the combo finisher. So you never want your combo to be more than, 4 or 5 hits before you're just like, all right, it's taking too long to get to the combo finisher. The boss fights are the best part of this game, by far. I think generally the combat's fine. It's just too easy. There's not enough challenge throughout the game until you hit Roxas at the end, and then suddenly it's the most challenging fucking fight ever.
Not that hard. It's not that hard.
I mean, I don't know.
I speak from like years and years and years of experience, but I honestly don't think.
Well, I don't think it's that hard either. I think it's just the lack of challenge, and then suddenly a spike is what it does to me. Where I'm like, oh shit, now I've got to do things that I haven't been doing for the last 30 hours. Like, what is going on?
This is gonna come across as me like defending the game. Like I still stand by that. I don't like the having to finish on the finisher thing, but when you use magic counts as a finisher. So,
oh, cool. I think tutorialization in this game is close to non-existent, and it's fucking frustrating as shit. And yeah, you're just running around in these systems, and you're just kind of like figuring it out as you go along, which there is joy to. But it doesn't feel intentional, and that's probably the biggest problem I have with Kingdom Hearts in its totality, is that the direction is awful in all of these games. And it leads to, they make choices in this one to try and fix the problems of the first game. And sometimes it works. Sometimes I'm like, but you you had like a good idea in game 1. You just needed to like work on the execution of it. And instead they got rid of that idea and changed it to something else entirely. Magic is one of those things. I think magic as an idea was cooler in the first game. It just needed some tweaking to make it work. The magic felt more married. The magic and just the melee felt more married and connected to each other in the first one. In this one, they feel like two different systems, and they're not really like hanging out all that much. Is what I felt during this.
I was gonna say I was gonna directly disagree with that. Like, I feel like it feels way more hand in hand here.
I think having the recharge set to hits that you're doing with the melee combat in the first game allowed me to go, okay, I'm gonna get this number of hits off and then get a spell off, and then I'm gonna get a number of hits off and then get a spell. Like, it was like bouncing back and forth. In this one, it just feels like I'm just gonna keep hitting until I feel like doing magic, and then I'll do some magic. And then I'm going to keep hitting until I feel like doing a drive form, and then I'll do a drive form. And then I'm going to keep hitting until I feel like doing a limit break, and I'll do a limit break. Which, to be fair, to this game's credit, I think the last 2 games had all of these numbers of systems, whatever they were, whether they were the card building system in the first game or like the summons and all of the other magic elements in the first one. Did I say the first one twice? I meant card building and Chains of Memories is what I said. Some of those elements felt inferior to just hitting people with the Keyblade. I don't feel that way here. I think everything's pretty even here. Now, in the sense of like, I don't think any of it feels necessary, but I don't feel like I'm wasting time in a drive form. I don't feel like I'm wasting time in a limit break. I don't feel like I'm wasting time with a summon. I feel like that is getting the job done just as efficiently as hitting people with a Keyblade. But I kind of feel like it should be feeling more, but I don't know. It's a numbers thing, and so we can get more in depth into it in its totality. But yeah, overall, I think this game is fine. It's functional. It's pretty fun in moments, but the flash and style over substance and skill move that it makes me feel pretty empty in the gameplay, and I hate Kingdom Hearts. Like, as a franchise, I fucking hate this franchise. I don't understand why people like it. I don't understand why it has a fan base. I don't understand why people are begging for another one. Because from everything everybody always tells me, it's so much worse from here. And these 3 games have not done enough to make me feel like it deserved any more. And also, the end of this game felt like an ending to me. Like a all right, we're done here. Like, sure, we have more, but the ending of this game feels like a definitive, and that was Kingdom Hearts. And close the storybook, but it just doesn't happen. Like, and so yeah, I don't know, man. What do I want from the next entry of this title? I don't want another entry from this title. I didn't want this many entries in this title. If we started here, I would be more generous. But we didn't start here. We started 2 shitty games prior to this, and this one's not good enough to justify going through those 2 other games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I think if you have the, you got Kingdom Hearts 1, 358 not 358 1.5 chain of memories, rechain of memories, and then 2, it's that fucking post-credit scene, dude, with the little letter from the king in the bottle, that just it throws a whole wrench in the works. That's what did it, because we got to find out what that is. And also there's like, you don't know that much about Roxas and why Sora's nobody looks like Roxas, and it's
a lot of the
weird.
spin-off titles make sense. Birth by Sleep, fucking 358 by 2 days. It is just more, that ending did seem conclusive.
But but that's the thing, right? Both 358 over 2 and Birth by Sleep are both prequels.
Yeah, that's why they work.
So those work for me. Like I like those as spin-offs are good. Like it's good. It's just when we continue from here is when we start to get worse, in my eyes. But what was I going to say? Oh, about the I want to go back to Tavin when you were talking about the magic and how you feel like it wasn't good enough. To me, it sounded like you weren't, because for me, I think it's super easy to weave magic into your combos, and like you do like 3 hits, hit them with a spell, continue from there. Whereas in Kingdom Hearts 1, you couldn't really do that. As soon as you hit a magic spell, your combo is over.
I guess, yeah. It's just the game puts so much emphasis on combo finishers because the combo finisher does like 2 to 3 times more damage than every other hit in your combo. So like, why would I ever interrupt my combo to get to the finisher? Because generally, and this is the way my stats played out, generally my magic just didn't do as much damage as my combo finisher. So I was always searching for the combo finisher. I would do the magic. I was sitting on the recharge timer more often than I probably wasn't. That may not be true. But I was sitting on the recharge timer a lot, right? But I just feel like having that cooldown for magic kind of, and I understand the little bubbles pop out to like reduce the cooldown. And there's other things that you can do to reduce the cooldown. But like that felt less engaging than getting the hits in to like build up the meter to get my magics back. You know what I mean? So like,
I understand. For me, I still dig the way that magic recharged in the first one, and I think it really works for that game. But like I just love the way they changed it, and in my eyes, kind of improved it. But it's almost like there was a branching path, right? Where like that system in Kingdom Hearts 1 could have kept going, and that's why I want them to remake 1 so bad. And just do a lot of like the core stuff, but just make it look nicer, tighten the screws on it.
I would be fascinated to see what a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake is.
Right.
That would be fascinating.
Imagine
Nomura's behind this, so time to go Final Fantasy VII.
We're not getting a Kingdom Hearts remake probably ever.
There's no way. It definitely, I would say, definitely not from Nomura. I don't know. Like
no.
I mean, I shouldn't say definitely. I feel like it's most likely would be just somebody else.
This game also, to a lesser degree, but this game does like the Mass Effect 2 thing where we're going to peel way back on the RPG systems. Not as much as Mass Effect 2, but it does that where like it's less RPG-y and more action-y this time around. The first game wasn't good at it, but I felt like I could make a build with Sora that was unique, and I could go into a boss fight with a unique build to counteract whatever the boss's strengths are. Yes, that's kind of here, but I feel like for the most part, most of the AP points are just dedicated to, do you want another hit on your combo? And it's not like 20% resistance to this, or you know, this type of damage does this to you, like XYZ thing that you did have in the first game, you just don't have here. And still, some of those stats are still alive in things like your armor and equipment that you can put on yourself. So that's still kind of here, but that was also in the first game. And then the AP points also like complemented that. I don't feel that here. Here it just felt like, how stylish do you want your combos to look is how the builds felt here.
Yeah, the resistances have always been tied to armor. It has.
There were like... AP points in game. Yes, you're right. But there were AP points in game 1 that say like 20% darkness resistance. I applied it in my fight with Ansem at the end of the game.
No,
I did that. I don't know what to tell you, Phil. I did that. That was a thing, and I did it.
I'm positive that there's not.
I equipped armor, and there's an AP thing. I think it was like worth like 2 or 3 points that did something to counteract darkness.
I swear, you get so confident about these, and I promise you, there's not. Am I absolutely 100% sure? No, but because I'm like I'd say 95 to 96% sure that there's not.
But like that was my one thing in Kingdom Hearts 1 where I was like, oh shit, you can like dramatically alter your build based off of these things, and I'm so certain it was tied. Like what I'm specifically thinking about is tied to some AP points, because there was a lot of those in Kingdom Hearts 1 that weren't ability based. It was like damage and percentages and number based.
I'm not finding anything online of being for like darkness. I'm going in specifically to use that as an example, but it seems like it's definitively was saying no, it's only for like abilities and things of that nature.
Yeah,
like
there's nothing like that.
Let me find my controller. Y'all find something else to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think what he's coming from is, like there are certain they separate armor and accessories. No, they don't. There's still armor and accessories in the first game. No, there's no armor. It's just accessories in the first game.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's just accessories, where each individual armor piece will give you a certain amount of AP, but they'll also increase like your strength, your resistances to certain things. Like I want to say that they completely. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, even to detract from Tavin's point, I know he's not here to see it, so it's not really a counter argument. But I felt like the building was far more, expansive here in this game, mainly because of the drive forms.
I completely agree. Like it's the fact that if you don't use certain drive forms, like you're not going to have the same movement abilities that you have access to. Yeah. Like you can like interchange, like, oh, I don't want the quick slide that you get from Wisdom. I want to use the dodge roll that you get from Limit, right? And those are since they're tied to the same button, it's kind of an either or thing. I think you can still have them both equipped. It's just kind of weird. I've never liked having both of them. I've always swapped between them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly, it's so weird how wildly we were disagreeing with Tavin in terms of like how much more open and you can change your build here rather than in the first game, because you like some of the finishers you can add are like contextual, like they'll do different things, like for different fights that, I mean, granted I have foreknowledge, so I know what fight's coming up, so I'll disable some finishers and I'll re-enable like explosion being like your magic based finisher on the ground, right? Where if there's someone that's like weaker to magic, or like maybe my magic stat is higher, like I have a bunch of stuff equipped that would make my magic stat higher, or like I'm using a higher magic keyblade, I'll use that finisher rather than a more physical one being like the quick like swipe that he'll do.
Yeah.
And even more so like in the air, like you have the magnet burst finisher,
brings them in.
Like bring them in and then explode them. That's tied to your magic stat. The other finisher you'll do in the air is the like quick, like 4-pronged, like circular slash in the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just, I don't know. It's wild to me how different how much we're disagreeing with Tavin here.
I mean, there's a lot. Like Kingdom Hearts to me, it seemed always like a very divisive franchise.
Oh, for sure.
I think you'll always have people with vast differences of how they think the game is. Look back at our first Kingdom Hearts game review, where this is the opposite. I'm more in line with Tavin far more than I was with you, Phil. I do very much enjoy, it hasn't been mentioned yet, the reaction system in this game. It just
Yeah,
adds
we touched on it a little bit, but yeah.
Okay, it adds that little extra breath of life that has cool, nice looking abilities that also just are mechanically interesting and functional.
I apologize. I'm incorrect. I apologize.
Oh,
I think
okay.
a lot of the things is kind of what Tavin was saying with those reactions, where it's kind of style over substance, but I like the like how they're also contextual based on like each different like nobody that you fight or a heartless that you fight has a different reaction command that like will do something very beneficial to your fight, right? Like I think of the big old spike ball heartless, where like he'll jump up in the air like on top of you, and you can like deflect him with your keyblade, catch him in the air, and like bounce him, and he'll make a big shockwave and kill everything else around you. You got in that 1,000 heartless fight, you've got 2 huge reaction commands that are awesome. The rising sun from those like soldier knights.
Yep.
Where you'll swoop through like 3 or 4 times, and then you have the I think sparkle ray from the sentries that are like flying around. So you'll jump up, grab them, and then a huge fucking beam to clear everything around you.
There's cool reactions made kind of worse by the fact that I know they move away from it for a worse system in 3.
Yeah.
But
they're still there. They're just less, like you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess this will be my probably last thing I'll say about combat. I did kind of touch on how it was too simple. I know the game's combat system would sing more if I was on a higher difficulty. But again,
yes,
for consistency's sake, it's just a matter of,
it's what we played on, right?
Like, yeah. And I guess even to that point, to you saying that the difficulty spike occurred when Roxas came on the field, if you fought against the silhouettes, that eases you into, okay, this game has a higher level of difficulty waiting for you in certain corners. Because those silhouette boss fights, except for like one, you actually have to try at and use the system to the fullest.
They're more complicated.
Yeah.
So, and this is a thing, and I'm willing to accept that this is a problem for me. Or it's a me problem, and I need to be better about it. Phil, you brought up of like the how much content did Tavin play? And I ask you, how much more content is there? Because I don't know where it is. I don't know where the content is. I know there's these silhouette fights where you go and you fight these Organization 13 members, and they're really hard, and so they require some upper level management and some diving into your build. And that's why I'm saying the build is there. I know they're there, but like the main game doesn't require you to do it. And right. So, yeah, there's these offshoot boss fights that are really hard that if I wanted to, I can go and do that. But, like, for the purpose of what? I'm sure it's to get some Keyblade that's better than any other Keyblade or whatever the fuck, right? But, like, what else is there in this game? Because there is no... Other than just running up and down the same levels again and again and again, there's not really a way to grind for experience or earn a bunch of experience. So, like, this in other games would be complemented by, here's a world where there's a bunch of extra side content that would get you there. Where is that side content that's worth doing? Or do I just need to be running up and down specific levels?
I'd say the majority, I'd say like probably like 70% of the side content is post-game.
Okay. What?
Okay.
Because I know there's a Sephiroth fight and the
so
big
basically
fight
right before your final fight, turn around and go back.
Well, so a lot of them doesn't unlock. Oh, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I think of one specific room, and we talked about this before. So in Hollow Bastion / Radiant Garden, there's that big platform with the save point where there's a big hole in the side of the mountain, right? So you jump in there. And you fight all these like weird, different colored Heartless, which are like more challenging. They have more health. They give more XP, and they drop special items for synthing stuff, which we didn't really talk about it, but it's they do fucking damage. But in order to progress through this cavern like entirely, you have to have all of your movement abilities pretty much maxed out. You can have them like from probably like one level below. But yeah, pretty much maxed out. You have to have them, because they use each individual movement ability. Like the first obstacle is high jump. Second obstacle is the quick dash, which you get from Wisdom form. First one was from Valor form. Then you have the like double jump. I forget what they call it. The
super jump.
No, it's like it's
high
a double jump. No, high jump's the first thing. That's
okay.
Super jump, or what they call it, like
aerial
dodge. Aerial
jump.
dodge. Sure. It's aerial dodge because it's a double jump, but it's like a twisty thing. You get it from Master form, and then there's the glide that you get from Final form. Limit form was added in add in just for the dodge roll and for you have all the cool stuff there. But at the end, there are what's called the data organization fight, which is like pretty much it's a big circular room that has every single organization 13 member, but the ones that you fight in that final world don't show up there as data things there until after you beat Xenos. Like they'll show up after like you have like the final save, and then you can go back because you're warped back to before the fight at the end of the game, kind of like how a lot of RPGs do it, right? But they'll have a little crown that you like cleared it already.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you go back there, and that entire room is full, and they're super ramped up versions of their boss fights, and they're incredibly difficult.
I didn't recognize that the game recognized that you had beaten the game.
Yes.
Like I thought it was just like all right, you're just right before the final. You're at your last save type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They mark it with a little crown saying this is like a completed game.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's that. There is one extra super boss called the Lingering Will, which is we'll get into that when we talk about Birth by Sleep eventually. He's like probably the hardest super boss in the whole game. It's in Disney Castle after you beat the game. And there's like a big portal that shows up that you go in, and then you're in a big vista that is in Birth by Sleep, and it's somebody's armor from Birth by Sleep. Very, very difficult boss fight, incredibly difficult. I tried to fight it. I want to say like high 70s at this point, and I got fucking rinsed. I got destroyed.
I knew there was Lingering Will and Sephiroth were the two big super bosses.
Well, so Sephiroth is more of I'd say he's the easiest of these super bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
I've
wild.
heard that.
I just want to throw in because y'all talked reactions and I was doing my thing, so I didn't get there. Reactions are fine. I think it just turns the game into just mashing at the same time X and triangle as much as possible, because the reaction commands are so quick that like often like you don't always have enough time to like actually move your thumb from X to triangle to get it in time. Is my personal feeling. As this is not my first time playing the game, but it may as well be because I really don't remember anything from my first playthrough.
You could be moving your thumb, or you could be a maniac like me and use your pointer finger because I play claw. So.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I used my DualSense Edge and I moved X to R1 and triangle to L1. A bit of a cheating, I know, but at the same time,
modern technology.
This is the third one of these fucking things.
So the rest of the you want to go more on reactions?
Yeah, just like I don't think it's content. Like it's not. I think it's fake depth. Like it's to give the feeling of depth of combat, but it's not actually deep. Is my opinion of it.
I'm sure it's not necessarily deep. It's more like it's just fun.
So a lot of these data organization fights that I'm talking about, a lot of them you have to like completely change your build between, because a lot of them have weaknesses that you aren't able to exploit if you have your usual build on, right?
These fights that you only have access to after you beat the game.
Well, some of them that you have access to at the end. It's only the only ones that are blocked off are the ones that you fight in the world that never was. It's the entire organization that's here. So it's all the ones from Chain of Memories. It's all of them are there before. Pretty much everyone that you fight in the absence silhouettes is there.
I mean, that's cool, and that sounds like a cool fight, and it sounds like you have to be a high level to do that, but, like, where are you getting the experience for that high level to do that?
I mean, I grind in the world that never was, but I understand. I understand your point, and that's why I don't like the Colosseums in Olympus Coliseum.
Yeah.
Because they should be giving you experience.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But they don't.
See, like, I feel you, Phil, but, like, what you're talking, it sounds like the equivalent of, like, Final Fantasy VII going up against Ruby Weapon. But to beat Ruby Weapon, it's not running up and down the hills and grinding to level 99 in Final Fantasy VII. You don't have to do that to do that. You have to take advantage of the materia system. You have to go and, like, play around with other systems. Like, it's a whole side quest of, like, other things to do. Breeding chocobos, racing chocobos, doing all this extra shit, and then finding the build in the materia system to beat Ruby Weapon. That's how you do that. You don't have to grind and run up and down these hallways 1,100 times. Yeah. Now, I did do that in Final Fantasy VII for the platinum, but you didn't have to do that to beat Ruby Weapon. I think level 99 was the last trophy I got. I could be wrong, but
that's the thing. if you're good enough, you don't need to level up, because some of these people that I've seen play this game, I'm not this good. They can do all these bosses without even getting hit. Because they play because they're playing on like critical mode, and like I'm telling you, the depth is there. I just think as the normal playthrough, you're not interacting enough with the game to experience the true depth.
Okay,
because
I can believe
I mentioned it. I mentioned it a lot.
Okay, but then I ask, is that depth or is that just memorizing the AI pattern behaviors?
It's not even just that. It's being able to react to different things at different times. They don't. It's not a set pattern.
I think of that in terms specifically with the Marluxia boss fight. I had to go back over and over and over again and actually learn the moveset and then respond to it as as well. That's the one with the scythe. He was one of the absent silhouettes. So
we're talking about how the
number of hits
you can take.
Yeah,
is based on your level.
And this whole
I've seen people complete this game at level 1, like on critical mode.
I keep seeing that. Is that like an option you get post game, like after beating the game? Is that an option you get to where like you check a box and then you're stuck at level 1, or what? How does that work?
So let's see. I can't.
Is it an ability you have to equip?
Yeah. So in it's called EXP0. So like essentially you get it from while you're playing as Roxas in the prologue. In that first area, you can open the first time you're able to access your abilities and go through. You can equip EXP0, gain no experience for the rest of the game, to where you just stay at level 1 for the entire thing.
Does that disappear if you don't equip it after a certain amount of time?
If you're no, it's actually, I want to say I don't know if it's on proud mode or not, but I know for sure it's on critical mode.
Oh,
which is a critical mode is a difficulty that appears after you've beaten the game once on any difficulty.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I've seen people run through this entire game on level 1 critical mode, and it's insane the way they go into the different nitty-gritty of all the different abilities you can use. Because you also because critical mode is so hard, they essentially revamp all of the damage tables from like how much damage you can put out. Because they make the enemies do so much more damage to you. They also have to make it possible, so they increase your strength also. But it's one of those things where if you get hit once, you're fucking done.
Now, to your point of a lot of people can play these at higher skill levels and not get hit. While that's all well and good, I think the core issue still remains, which is that most people can't. So they are having to grind through the same things over and over again.
Yeah, and I mentioned that where it's like on a normal playthrough like we did. Yeah, I would kind of agree with Tavin, where like, you know, you're not really interacting as deeply with it, but I'm saying it is there.
Yeah,
sure, yes, but I guess your perspective of it, Phil, makes it feel like I'm leaving something on the table, and my perspective of it is the table is not fucking in front of me; it's like in the next room. And I gotta like, and everything else tells me that it's in front of me. Like that's a bad analogy, but like I mean, like
I've got a key to the locked door.
It just,
to all doors.
It just feels like all this shit is like hidden bonus extra content, and I'm looking for the meat. Like, cool that cool that after I finish my 3-course meal, I have the option to go to another room and eat more. But like, I came for the 3-course meal. Where the fuck is it? I got 2 courses. I got 2 courses. Where's my 3rd course, motherfucker?
I mean I was gonna go into it earlier, but like the other like mushroom the other like bonus content that there is, it's mostly just like things you need to do to fill out the journal. And it's they're called the Mushroom 13. They're little mini boss, not mini boss, but like little mini games that you have to do on each individual world. And they're all based on they're all based on Organization 13. And like, you know, there's certain ways you have to like change your build to interact and get to a certain amount of hits in order to complete their entry on the journal. And you know, this game is a hard platinum, but I've done it and I'm gonna do it again. It's just really difficult on PS3 because of the fucking load times.
I do want to. I mentioned it in the review, but I want to make sure it's clear. I like the boss fights in this game. I think they are easily the best part of the game. And they're really, really fun. I even like the silhouettes of how like it's that like, all right, we're gonna throw this gimmick at you that makes it unfair. Figure it out. Like I genuinely enjoy that. I also think there's a lot of like weird jank in the game that like makes you go, why is it this way? Phil, we had the conversation about it, but I'm gonna use it as an example. The like weird hammer thing that you pick up off of either the hammer dudes or that one boss fight at the world that never ends, where you then do that weird like janky sweeping the ground thing is weird.
The
Phil, you
Berserker,
explained the purpose of it to me, but like
Yeah.
I just didn't. I didn't make the connection in the moments that I did it. I also think there's other reaction commands that you're just like, why the fuck would I ever do that? I'm just gonna hit them instead. The duel mini game I think is like pretty unintuitive. Like it just feels like I understand like there's like an element of random to it, but it doesn't feel like it like it presents itself as like a skill thing, and it's not a skill thing. It's just a am I 2 button presses away or am I 3? And if I'm 3, I'm fucked.
Right. I mean, you could min max and only be a maximum of 2 steps away if you start in the middle top or the middle bottom.
Yeah, you're right.
But, that's how
it is
I do
skill.
it.
Skill. No, you just prove it was skill. Tavin doesn't have the skill. I did though, because I did succeed every single time that popped up.
Yeah, so that shows up with the samurai, nobody, and the Roxas fight, where you have the opportunity to take his two keyblades and use them against them, and it's kind of epic.
One of those epic moments, one of those hype Nora moments.
I did have a really hype cinematic end to the Roxas fight where I was near the end. We were both on critical health, and that duel moment did happen, which killed me more times than not in that specific fight. But the like of the times that I did succeed, I succeeded on that, and then took his keyblade and killed him with his own keyblade. Shit, it was just a really cool like epic like moment in that. I think the game is really good at giving us those epic moments. I just wish like it was better at crafting the experience to build up to them better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well,
Naughty Dog's really good at that.
Does anyone have anything else?
I'm trying to see if my fan.
I mean, I could be.
My fan is not setting off.
I mean, I could be nerdy and talking about each individual moment of this, but it basically my view comes down to it's a neat idea, but it's not. It's pretty shallow.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to me being right about Tavin being wrong.
Hey man, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. I played that game 6 months ago.
Almost every time you talk about Kingdom Hearts, you're wrong. So.
Well, maybe if the game was better at presenting itself, I could remember how it's fucking put together better. It's like building Legos, but I don't know where the fucking holes in the studs are.
You're fucking. You need to get that cheater tool to get the things that you have, the little 2x1 bricks where they're on top of each other, like the really flat ones. You need the little cheater tool to get it off. I can use my fucking teeth, cut my teeth on them.
Some people are more dainty than others.
I just know because I'm already seeing it in some of the the TikTok videos and the YouTube things. I just know that like when I break some of these moments out, like the internet's gonna or the Kingdom Hearts fan base is gonna tear into me. Here's my thing: you guys deserve better. Like you just
I agree.
You really do deserve better, and you have aligned your fanaticism behind this franchise that like. Not only I don't think the franchise respects you, but also like. Damn. It doesn't even fucking respect itself. Like, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, this just feels like it. I mentioned it in one of these reviews, or maybe I just mentioned it offhandedly to you guys. This is a franchise that just feels like it's always the side project behind whatever else the team is doing for the main thing. Like, it always feels like, whatever. Like, yeah, sure, we'll get there.
But hey, we have to hope that Kingdom Hearts 4 will somehow dethrone Kingdom Hearts 2 as the best, right?
I think it will.
It's that thing where like everyone in the Kingdom Hearts fandom, they're victims of what's called the sunk cost fallacy. They're too fucking deep in, and when we need to know how it ends.
That is true.
How what ends? What is there to end? There's nothing happening in these games.
Tavin, please be quiet. The story.
The story that is.
Also, I will say, real quick.
Let me just run you through the entire Kingdom Hearts timeline.
Tavin, your preamble for why you think they deserve better. The way you said that was just going to make them want to dogpile on you more. I was like, it's like the game doesn't respect you. Like,
then Connor, I'm sorry that I care more about their time than they do about their own.
Because it begs the question: if we deserve better, what's better?
What is better? Now I know that
Final Fantasy.
That was the way that we segue into the ranking, Tavin.
Come on, Tavin.
That was good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into our ranking. Of course, we've ranked every game that we've played in the Two Penny Game Club. There are currently 39 titles in the rankings. We have divvied them out into different tiers: S, A, B, C, and D. We've only gotten to D. We've not found an F tier game yet. I am not going to read D tier, and I'm not going to read S tier. I'm going to read A, B, and C.
Can you let me know when it ends? Yeah, I guess you will, because I'm not seeing the thing like I usually do.
What do you mean?
Well, you have the asset in the chat, Connor.
Where the fuck is it again? I looked before.
Literally scroll up like five posts.
It's literally one scroll wheel.
I posted it last night.
Oh, in the useful doc?
No, in general.
Oh, okay, that's why. There we go.
You also have there's a media tab where you can just look at what pictures are in there.
Yeah. He also Connor he posts it after every single game club, and then he refreshes it before we start a game club.
I mean, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true this time because I didn't even put Chain of Memories in there until last night. But I did it last night. And exactly. it's not like we're doing a lot of talking in these things.
It's usually one of the two or both. You'll put it and then you'll refresh it.
Number 35, BioShock. Number 34, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. 33, Prey. 32, Tomb Raider. 31, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. 30, Alan Wake. 29, Batman Arkham Asylum. 28, Uncharted 1, Drake's Fortune. 27, Demon Souls. 26, Signalis. 25, Halo Combat Evolved. 24, Dead Cells. 23, Shadow of the Colossus. 22, Mario 64. 21, Resident Evil 4. 20, Portal. 19, Banjo-Kazooie. 18, Ratchet & Clank. 17, Pokemon Soul Silver. 16, Severed. 15, Resident Evil HD. 14, Chrono Trigger. 13, Dishonored. 12, Metal Gear Solid. 11, Shovel Knight. 10, Portal 2. 9, Doom 2016. 8, Yakuza 0.
So I'm going last. Because I know, from how this is all gone, I know it's a case of I'm going to be somewhere in between you guys, and I will be the deciding vote. I know I will. Well, unless Phil surprises me.
Well, do we want to start with
going to be? Sure.
All right. I promised Tavin that night that we were just hanging out at y'all's new apartment. I was going to be objective. I'm going to be conservative here. And y'all laughed when I said this about the first game. Okay? Y'all laughed when I said that it was that's a conservative pick. This is between Shadow of the Colossus and Dead Cells.
I will go first. Well, all right. Hey. More power to you.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
Can you explain your thinking behind that?
Well, I mean, sure. I think a big driving point is that like fondness that I have for the game. And I say big. It's not that big, but like I just fucking really enjoyed. I like the It's for sure for me better than Halo Combat Evolved. The only sticking point is Dead Cells is doing something different. It's kind of like on that big resurgence that we've had of roguelite. It is a really, really fucking good one. But I just like this style of game more than I like, Dead Cells. And also it's Kingdom Hearts 2, so that also boosted for me. I think that a lot of the stuff in C tier is just a little out of whack, so I think that's just where it belongs in my eyes. I was looking at this last night and I was trying to figure it out, and I was like, all right, let's be somewhat reasonable. And I get that I come off as a crazy person to y'all a lot of the times when it comes to this franchise. But yeah, for me, I think that this game has no place above Shadow of the Colossus because people heralded it as one of the best PS2 games all the time. There's no place above Mario 64, even more so. But for me, that's just kind of where it sits for me. The only sticking point that I have is because I liked Demon Souls and I wanted it to be higher. And so I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this game is better than Demon Souls.
That's crazy.
But I want it. I want Kingdom Hearts 2 between Shadow of the Colossus and Dead Cells.
In B tier, I assume.
I'm fine bottom of B, top of C. I'm fine either way, to be honest.
I feel like it can't be C tier. It needs to be in B tier.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not. I can't say that's a C tier game.
So funny enough, Demon Souls, I walked out of that review saying, hey, this is a game that I really don't think is very good, but I have a lot of respect and I like it a lot. I want to love it, but it's just not a good game. And it not being a good game keeps me from loving it. I feel the opposite about Kingdom Hearts 2. I think this is a fine quality game, but I fucking hate it. And so, Phil, you have me shocked here. Because I think you make a great point for Shadow of the Colossus being above that. But with where the list is right now and the status that it is and how I am feeling on the day, I'm actually going the new number 21 above Resident Evil 4, below Portal.
Let's fucking damn.
Yeah. Guys, I know I'm heavily critiquing it, and I of course think I have a lot of.
Obviously, I want it as high as possible, Tavin. I was being conservative because I thought y'all would clown on me.
Well, what's funny is like you had the conservative take, and I felt like in the moment I laughed at you, but when I listened back to that Kingdom Hearts 1 thing, I realized you were being conservative, like you were shooting up to get it as high as possible.
Of course.
Yeah, whereas here I think you're being conservative in the more literal sense of like, all right, let me acknowledge the flaws and bring it back. To me, this game, though not as revolutionary or impactful or influential as Resident Evil 4 or Mario 64, I think it's more consistent than those titles, and I think it is. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is a necessary building block in the foundation of action RPGs. I don't think it's like the best example of an early action RPG. I don't think it's the most influential example of an action RPG, but I do think it's an important enough building block in the foundation of establishing that subgenre that, like, I think it kind of equates out alongside the game being more consistent than RE4 and 64. I think personally Shadow of the Colossus would be above it, but this is where the list is, and this is how I'm feeling on the day. Me and Phil have had multiple conversations about Severed. Sometimes I'm feeling like Severed's too high. Last night, Phil brought that up, and I was like, you know what? Actually, I think Severed's fine where it is. So, like, my feelings change day to day on some of the positionings on this list. It's really a range of things. To me, today, Kingdom Hearts 2, 21, below Portal. It's below Portal because Portal is a perfectly designed video game.
Revolutionary.
It is short as fuck, but it's perfectly designed. And that's my biggest problem with Kingdom Hearts as a franchise, is that it is some of the worst designed games of all time.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, Connor, I don't know if you read the chat, but I'm of the belief that Severed is at least 3 places too high.
No, I saw that.
4 places.
I'm kind of in the same way with Tavin, where I do change certain things here and there from time to time. And Severed is always one where whenever I hear that, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But I remember what Severed was like. And I'm like, well, it's not as big as some of the other games, but it's deserving of this.
It's good. It's real good.
At least. Yeah. Now, I guess I'll go with my positioning, which is going to be the highest. Not that far off the mark. Actually, extremely close to where Tavin is. I am going to put it right below Banjo-Kazooie, right above Portal. Yeah, you thought I was going to put it above Banjo?
Guys, I just really didn't want this game above Banjo.
That's funny.
Banjo was my one sticking point where I was like, please, like I was praying. I'm not even religious. I was praying. I was like, please don't let them put this game above Banjo.
Well, you see, this review, as very often it happens with me, can be the deciding factor. You know, now I was ranging from all the way up to below Pokemon Soul Silver while I was playing this game to Mario 64. That was like my range, you know, potentially being above or below Mario 64. Yeah, below or above it. I didn't know. I was like, where am I here? Eventually,
I feel so fucking validated, guys.
That's funny.
I feel so seen.
I want it to be known. I want it to be known. All right. I understand. Currently, number 1 is my personal favorite game of all time, but I've remained probably the most objective in these rankings out of the 3 of us.
So, you know, everyone would say that, admittedly, but
where are we going, Connor?
What was I saying before? Yeah, the big thing with Banjo-Kazooie that kind of was like, well, maybe I should put Kingdom Hearts 2 above it, is because we did kind of gloss over it in the review because the game is so good. It is just a copy, as much as it could be while still being its own thing, of Mario 64 Banjo? That had just come out recently. So I was like, the integrity of it, like Kingdom Hearts 2 improved upon vastly. Probably the biggest improvement we'll have with a game on this. I think this
because we have sequels on here. I think it is like from where it started to where it is the biggest glow up in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be in general
for sequels that we have on the list.
No, totally, and I think it's going to be hard to top for all the video games we play. But Banjo-Kazooie is just as being made in the time it was, and any of the technological issues being pretty much irrelevant. even today, I think that's deserving of such high marks. And even though the game ends on a wet fart, that last boss is absolute fucking ass.
That last boss is bad. Yeah, I forgot about
it's so
that.
horrible.
The whole quiz segment. Fuck that quiz, dude.
Horrible. And compared to the ending of this game, which is one of the highest parts of the entirety of the experience of Kingdom Hearts 2, but when you take those out, Banjo-Kazooie is just it's. No, I wouldn't say more consistent, but it's at a higher level of quality consistently, whereas particularly with the narrative, Kingdom Hearts comes down.
I think Kingdom Hearts has higher highs but lower lows than Banjo.
Oh, absolutely. If it just had a more cohesive story, I'd put it above Banjo, but it does not. And Banjo's such a good quality game. I'm confident where I put it. Below Banjo, above Portal.
I want to
Let's go. I agree.
That's funny.
I want to touch on the narrative thing for a quick second, right? Because like I feel like we've made it clear of where we stand gameplay wise and how we're, I'm diverting from you two here. But like
gameplay is just so king in this. But go on, please.
I really think you don't need much, because I don't hold narrative as like the most important part of a video game. Like despite what my preferences might tell you, but. Like, I truly think if this narrative was like sensible, if it was like able to be followed reasonably, and if these characters were more likable, like, and I could care about them, it doesn't even have to be much. Chain of Memories is not a good story, and it's not a good character piece, but it's enough to where I said it in that review. I fucking love Sora in that game. I don't care about him in this one, like, because he's just the guy who makes a funny face at the camera every once in a while, like, and
like douche.
Yeah, literally, and it comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
no, because Riku asks him, he's like, oh, what did you expect me to look like douche? And he was joking with him.
Yeah, but it felt like it came out of like the build up to it wasn't good.
You glaze over.
That was a good moment.
Don't pay attention.
I glaze over because it's bad.
But see, that's the thing,
sucks,
Tavin.
It's incredibly impossible to follow.
That's a good character interaction, though. That's like one of the better ones in the game.
But it stands
as a whole,
alone. It's not supported by the context of the scene or the story or where those two characters are in their relationship to each other. It's just a moment. And sure, the moment can be fun and entertaining and in a better game if it was in Chain of Memories. If that moment was in Chain of Memories, I would have bought it and liked it. But it's in this game where there is no context, where character relations get thrown out the window. Most of these characters are different characters than they were in either of the last two games.
They are, but we contextualize it with the moment. This is the beginning, the first time they've reunited, all of the friends together. This is 2 games removed from them being able to act like friends again, and it's still carrying on a story narrative-driven part, and it's interrupted by, oh, I'm still your goofy friend, even when you're talking about the darkness and, this is where I am now.
Sure, I guess I just don't think it's effective. And also, like,
fair.
I kind of feel like they just forgot who is supposed to be the character role in XYZ role. Like, I kind of feel like in some play, yeah, right. I kind of forgot in some places it feels like Goofy and Donald switched. Like, I don't know how to pinpoint it in word. Goofy definitely took a backseat in this one. I liked Goofy. Yeah. I liked Goofy way more in one.
The voice of reason.
Voice of reason.
But he wasn't really the voice of reason in the first 2 games. He was your caring friend who cared about you. And now I kind of feel like Donald is that.
In the first game, they definitely like dumb him down more. He's the fucking smart one in the relationship from like the series on, which is funny. Because
that's weird.
I think of Mulan in this game. Donald and Sora fully buy that she's a man. And he goes, "You're pretending to be a boy, ain't you?"
Yeah, that was another. I thought the comedy in this game was terrible.
Oh, come on.
Hit or miss, depending on what it was. But
I can't remember a standout moment where I was like, "This is a good bit." No, I know it happened at least once. Where I was like, "This is a good bit," but I just can't remember what it was.
So,
anyways, so that puts it. The Kingdom Hearts 2, Phil's favorite video game of all time, even though he ranked at the lowest.
Very funny.
Is the new 21 above Resident Evil 4?
New 20. Oh wait, yeah, no, it's new 20 because I was bringing.
No, 21 because it bring Resident Evil 4 down.
No, Connor, but you said it was below Banjo-Kazooie above Portal.
Yeah, but
you
when
put
there's
it
two,
you
like-
put it below Shadow of the Colossus.
No, and then I what? No, but I can be convinced. Obviously, I want it as high as
Ah,
possible.
Well,
they're
you
gonna do
okay?
this
You just
stuff.
didn't make it clear that you were changing your vote. You didn't make it clear that you were changing your vote.
Yeah. Oh no, I thought I was clear. I was like, let's go, let's rank it, and then so, like I was trying to go along with it. Yeah,
I thought you were
number
just
20.
excited and happy that it was going higher than you were personally putting it. Okay.
Or Candleless Ghosts.
Guys, Portal's so good. Come on, what are we doing?
It is
really good.
It is. It's just I cannot this time that we passed tell you anything about it being perfect at the time. It's just such a nothing game outside of being the first before Portal 2.
So we talked about how narrative doesn't really matter that much, but like the what word am I looking for? The tools and mechanics of Portal are so good, but like they're still, compared to everything you have access to in Kingdom Hearts 2, it's still what I think is like bare bones. Granted, it's a different game. It's like different. I know like the whole Portal thing is fucking massive. It's super, like it's incredible, right?
From a technology perspective, it's crazy.
Yeah.
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 But it's just you have so much more going for you in Kingdom Hearts 2 gameplay wise, and Kingdom Hearts 2, while it might not have a great narrative, Portal doesn't have one. Portal 2 is the first one that has the narrative.
But it has good writing
Portal 1 has a narrative.
and good writing.
It's like it's not one you care about, but I think this game is one that like I hate. Like I think it's insulting how stupid this narrative is.
Sweet. All right. So Kingdom Hearts 2, new number 20. Above
New
Portal,
number
above
20.
Banjo.
All right. Yeah, sure. Whatever. As long as it's not above Banjo.
I'm very happy I did not put it above Banjo.
Yeah, Banjo's such a good game.
It's a great game. Yeah, I agree. But
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Banjo's under. Banjo should be the top of B.
no. Well, I agree. It should be
top-
above Severed.
But yeah,
it should definitely be above Ratchet and Clank. You guys.
When you
fucked
said
up on
top
that
of
one.
when you top of B, what do you mean? I wouldn't say so. But when you say top of B, how would you saying we would lower?
It doesn't
B?
go. It doesn't go above Pokemon
So-
Soul Silver.
So Connor, the tiers, everything below the tier is what that tier is. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
above that tier. So top of B would put it at 16, above Severed and
Oh,
Rogue.
I see what you're saying. I see what you.
We're
I was
gonna
thinking in terms of like where it is, not what you would put it at. Okay.
Oh, you were thinking I should move the B tier down?
Yeah, and I was like,
Oh
why?
no, God no, God no, God
No.
God,
Severed is
no,
not an A
absolutely
tier
not.
game.
No, absolutely not. None of them. That's why they're in the B tier.
Pokemon Soul Silver is, but yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a break. So this month was supposed to be the wheel spin month, but in the great month of October 2025, there's like a really dope game coming out every week, and we want to play them all. And also, Tavin's schedule is jam fucking packed between moving to this new apartment, which has set me so far behind in school, and I'm still working and trying to have a social life. Like, it's too much. So Tavin needs a pause, and in general, we all just kind of want to play the new video games, right? So we're going to take a break in October from Game Club. We will return throughout the month of November, but obviously there won't be a new episode. And we're going to be playing Dark Souls 1. We're going to skip the wheel, and it's going to be my pick of the game. Phil Shoemaker.
Can I propose something?
Yeah?
Since we're all gonna play it anyway.
Uh-huh.
What if we went Ghost of Viote this month's game? Since we did that for Ragnarok.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that before Tsushima. I understand we did it for
Fair enough.
I understand we did it before Ragnarok, but that was before we kind of had the rules in place of where we are. Honestly, because I want to start all the way over with God of War 1. When we get back there, which again is going to be like 80 games from now, but when we get back there, I wouldn't mind re-rolling Ragnarok when we get there. I don't like the idea of taking it out, but I wouldn't hate the idea of doing it again.
Time for another decision for another day. But
Decision for another day. But I don't want to do Ghost without Tsushima. And specifically, I want to get some Sucker Punch games in there before we even get to Ghost.
Ideally.
That's not a
like how
hardline
we-
rule.
we did
That's
Demon-
one
How
of
we did Demon Souls before Dark Souls. I get you.
Is Ghost of Tsushima even on the list? I don't think it is.
it. Might be.
Tsushima?
I don't
Like
remember. I think
wheel?
it is.
Mhm.
I think it is. So we're taking a break. November is my game of choice. We're going to be playing Dark Souls throughout the month of November, and then we will see you again at the beginning of December with our review of Dark Souls.
You guys heard it first. It was his choice to play Dark Souls, nothing else.
Yeah, it wasn't because I owed Connor a fucking favor for picking Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Fuck you.
It is Tsushima is not on the wheel.
Oh, is it not?
No.
I might have taken it out. So it was definitely in the Discord chat at one point.
Oh, did you maybe delete the Discord chat?
I don't think I did. I don't think I went that deep into it.
That's how I just judged it. Is because it's not on the Discord chat.
Interesting. I swear to God, it got typed in there at some point. Like in the first wave of like us throwing 50 games in there.
I just did the search function. It's not there.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Until next time, have a great time, and gentlemen, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
Bye.